Ever feel like life throws a curveball just when you think you've got it figured out?
Right.
Like you're sailing along and then, bam, unexpected detour.
Tell me about it. It's like those moments,
The job loss, the health scare, the plot twist you did not see coming in your perfectly planned life.
Exactly. And suddenly adversity isn't just some trendy buzzword.
It becomes very real, very personal.
Raw, even.
And you know what? You've got a stack of material on turning those very moments, those curveballs, into something, well, powerful.
Powerful, even advantageous.
Okay, so we're not just summarizing here. We're diving in deep.
You're extracting the gold, the how-to, the why it matters, the stuff you can actually use.
Love that. Let's dive in. Actually, speaking of perspective shifts, which I feel like we often need when things feel chaotic, there's this quote by Viktor Frankl that's been sticking with me.
Sure.
You might know him. He survived the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Went on to become this renowned psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves.
Powerful stuff.
Right.
It's not about sugarcoating, though.
No.
Not like toxic positivity, pretending everything's sunshine and rainbows.
Definitely not.
It's recognizing that even when things are hard, really hard, we've still got a choice.
We have agency. I like that.
And, it reminds me of this whole idea. It reminds me of Malala Yousafzai's story.
Oh.
Talk about facing something unimaginable.
She was, what, 15 when she was shot?
Unbelievable.
For speaking out about girls' education.
It's like, how is that even real life?
If that's not a masterclass in resilience, I don't know what is.
Exactly. But see, here's what I find so powerful. Her story, yeah, it's extraordinary, but it also highlights something we all have. That inner strength to choose our response.
Even when it feels like everything's falling apart.
Even then. Think about it. She used her voice, right, on a global stage to champion the very thing those attackers tried to silence.
Wow. It's like she took that experience, that horrible experience, and turned it into, fuel for her mission.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
It is.
Okay, so we may not all face something as extreme as Malala.
Hopefully never.
But her experience, it makes me think, what are some of those tools, those strategies that maybe everyday people can use,
Yes.
to navigate their own challenges?
Love that you asked.
It's like there's this, I don't know, a strength that kicks in when we're really pushed.
Right.
And it's like, how do we tap into that?
And not just, when things are epic level bad.
Exactly.
Like, how do we make that strength accessible for everyday life?
Okay, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So how do we do that?
Well, that's where having, a resilience toolkit comes in handy.
Yeah, toolkit. Okay, I like this.
Think of it this way. Life, it's going to throw storms, right?
Yeah, it's inevitable.
But we can be prepared, equipped to weather those storms. And I'm not just talking about surviving them, but coming out stronger.
I love this analogy. It makes resilience feel more, I don't know, less vague.
Right. Tangible.
Yeah. So what are we talking about here? What's in this toolkit?
Okay, let's start with the foundation.
Okay.
The support network.
Okay, but not just Instagram followers.
No, not just likes and comments.
Because those are fine for a quick boost, but...
But when you're really facing something tough, you need people. Real people.
People in your corner.
The ones who listen without, judging, offer a different way of looking at things.
Yeah, they remind you of your own strengths when you forget.
Exactly. And it's wild. There's actual science behind this.
Oh, yeah.
Having a strong support system, it actually reduces stress hormones.
Like cortisol.
Yeah, cortisol.
I was actually reading about that. So it's not just about feeling better. It's physiological.
It's like having a superpower against stress. And you know what pairs really well with a solid support system?
What's that?
A healthy dose of mindfulness.
Okay, before you say anything else.
I know.
Mindfulness. I feel like that word gets thrown around a lot.
It does. And it can sound a little woo-woo, I get it.
So what are we really talking about here?
Okay, think about it this way. You're stressed, right? Overwhelmed. What happens?
Oh, my thoughts are like a runaway train.
Exactly. And not the fun kind.
No, not the fun kind. It just spirals.
It's like that inner monologue on repeat and not the good kind of repeat.
Right. So how does mindfulness help?
It's like hitting the pause button on that runaway train.
Really?
Even something as simple as taking a few deep breaths, really focusing on that breath, it creates a tiny bit of space.
Space between you and the what ifs?
Space between you and that chaos. And in that space, you can choose how to respond.
Instead of just, reacting.
Yeah, instead of just reacting from that place of, everything's on fire.
Right. It's like hitting the reset button. You know what else I find helps with that?
What's that?
Gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds so basic.
Yeah.
But seriously, taking a few minutes and just thinking about, like, what I'm grateful for,
Mm-hmm.
it shifts something.
It's huge because it's not about ignoring the hard stuff.
No, no.
It's about finding those bright
Yeah,
spots,
those things that are still good.
even amidst the chaos. And that, it kind of ties into another powerful tool,
Okay, which
the
is,
growth mindset.
okay, growth mindset. I've heard that term. What does that actually mean?
So it's about how we look at setbacks.
Setbacks.
Yeah, those moments where it feels like we failed.
We've all been there.
Instead of seeing failure as this, like, dead end, what if we saw it as data?
Data. Okay, I like that.
Feedback. It tells us, okay, this didn't work out as planned. What can I learn?
How can I adapt?
How can I come back even stronger?
So it's less, oh, no, I messed up,
Mhm.
and more, interesting. What can I learn from this?
Exactly. It's like, how you level up in a video game.
You got to learn the moves.
You try, you learn, and you get better. And speaking of journeys,
Yeah.
let's talk about J.K. Rowling for a sec.
Okay.
Talk about someone who used setbacks as, like, fuel.
Yeah, even if you're not into, like, fantasy novels.
Right.
Her story is amazing.
It's incredible.
I mean, before she was selling millions of books, she was a single mom.
Right. Struggling.
Yeah, struggling, facing rejection after rejection.
For her manuscript, people told her it would never sell.
They told her no over and over.
Yeah.
If that's not resilience, I don't know what is. And she just, like, kept going.
She persevered.
It's incredible. Like,
Wow.
those rejections, they just made her more determined.
Absolutely. And you can actually see those resilience tools we were talking about. They're right there in her story.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, remember how important that support network is?
Yeah, those people have got your back.
She had her daughter, like a source of unconditional love and support.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's amazing, though, right?
It is.
How even when everything seems impossible, having just that one person who believes in you, can make all the difference.
Huge. Totally. And, her writing, that passion project, that became her anchor.
Oh, I like that. Her anchor
The thing that kept her grounded.
amidst all the chaos.
Exactly. Every word she wrote, it was like one step closer to her dream, even when she couldn't see the finish line.
It's like those small steps, those little things we do every day, they build up.
They do.
So how do we do that? How do we harness that kind of energy, that commitment?
That's the question, isn't it? We're all trying to figure that out, but honestly, you're already on the right track.
Wait, what? How?
By being here right now, by engaging with this.
You mean like listening to this deep dive?
Yeah. By exploring these ideas, you're already acknowledging the power of resilience.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It's like shining a spotlight on these strategies.
Exactly. So here's a question for you. What if, instead of just getting through adversity,
Yeah,
we saw it as a source of strength?
like our own unique strength.
Yes. What if those challenges, those setbacks, actually gave us something? Like insights, perspectives.
Empathy, even.
Yes. It's like, have you heard of kintsugi?
Is that like a sushi roll?
No. It's this Japanese art form. They repair broken pottery with gold, so the cracks become part of the beauty.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is. And those imperfections, they tell a story.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
see. So it's like those cracks in us, those are part of our story, too.
Exactly. And when we share those stories, when we open up about those struggles,
And how we made it through,
it creates this ripple effect.
because we realize, hey, we're not alone in this.
Exactly. It's that shared human experience.
Of overcoming, of becoming.
It's where the real magic happens.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this. You are not alone. Your story, it's still being written. And you've got this. You've got the tools. Remember, that support network, mindfulness, growth mindset.
So small steps.
Yes, you've got this.